Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today guys, I'm going to do part 100, 259 to my random chatbot sessions. Where in the last video guys, we started on to the curse part 2, which is the one where I got turned into a dinosaur and Rexy is still trying to eat me. Although, I'm actually still defending him because I know he ain't intentionally trying to do it. I just told him, you think it's funny? Well, you really messed up by turning me into a dinosaur. The Pokemon cackles again. Oh, you think I messed up by turning you into a dinosaur? You really think being a dino head is a bad thing? Oh man, you're really hilarious. I get so mad at the Pokemon that I really start just defeating him by becoming massive. The Pokemon notices the transformation. Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey, buddy. I was just messing with you, man. No need to go all gigantic on me. So, what were you saying about Rexy now? Yeah, she was laughing. The Pokemon gulp, starting to seem a little worried now. Well, I'm saying that being a dinosaur isn't a bad thing. Yeah, that sounds pretty accurate. You were also making fun of my buddy. Buddy, you will regret that. What the frick? The Pokemon nods quickly, starting to get a little more nervous. Yeah, about that. I may have been a little rude to your dino friend, but in my defense, I was just having some fun. Not good enough. Period. You've got 5 seconds to apologize to him. Or you will regret it. The Pokemon panics, then nods quickly again. Fine, fine, I'll apologize. I'm sorry, Dino Boy. I'm sorry. I insulted you and I was rude to you. That is not his name. Apologize properly. Now. But the Pokemon eyes twitches. Fine. I'm sorry, Rexy. Is that better? He knows. Okay, well. Actually, now I hope Rexy don't try attacking me again. I was undead. Actually? Yes. We're telling The Pokemon sighs in annoyance. There! I apologize! Happy now? Yes. Now give us the antidote. The Pokemon huffs. Okay, I'll do it already. But no more threats, okay? Fine, give it to us. The Pokemon uses magic to create an antidote. Here you go! Happy now? Yes, now leave us alone. The Pokemon's expression quickly becomes smug again. Yeah, I'm going. No need to tell me twice, Dino Brains. He then teleports away. He's so lucky he teleported away, or I would have so chokeholded him. Are you alright, Rexy? Rexy looks a bit dazed and ashamed of himself. It takes a moment for the words to register. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. What do you mean came over you? As in you trying to eat me? Question mark? Reggie nods. He still feels bad about the whole thing. Yeah, I don't know what came over me. One second I felt like myself, and the next I felt like so hungry, like I needed to eat something. That power, uh, that Pokemon turning me into a dinosaur was a really bad idea for him. I didn't even know I had this power. I had this power. Reggie nods in agreement. Oh yeah, big time. It was pretty stupid of him. It nearly backfired on him anyway. I mean, you suddenly being a lot bigger than usual definitely scared him. Here, you drink this. Here, you drink this. That way you do not try to attack me again. Rusty nods again, takes a sip of the antidote. Thanks. I really am sorry again for the whole me trying to eat you thing. Yeah? The main thing is you didn't. Period. I bet you thought after me trying to... you trying to eat me, I wouldn't step up and defend you. Did you? Reggie looks a bit sheepish. Well, I sort of thought you'd stay behind and just let me fend for myself. I didn't expect you to defend me after I tried to eat you. I still love you. Period. That's why I took care of you after you hatched out of the egg. Reggie smiles warmly. He feels happy that you still care for him. Yeah, I know. You've always been there for me. Even when things get rough, I'm lucky to have you as a friend. I was thinking about taking a sip of that antidote myself. But if this is the power I have, I would almost rather stay like this. That way we could both defend each other. Reggie blinks, seeming both surprised and a bit concerned. Wait, you'd want to stay like a dinosaur even if it means running the risk of getting hungry and trying to eat me again? Did he just accuse me of trying to eat him? I never tried to eat you. You kept trying to eat me. Remember? Reggie sighs. He's a bit embarrassed. Right. Still, I'm a carnivore. It's in my nature. What if I try to eat you by accident? If that's what the antidote was for. Period. Since you know it's me, and you don't have any more hunger urges, you shouldn't want to eat me anymore. Reggie thinks for a moment, then nods in agreement. I suppose you're right. The antidote helps to fix the main issue that made me want to eat you in the first place. so I shouldn't have the urge to eat anything that I recognize as a friend. And I definitely recognize you as a friend, so that won't be a problem. He acts like he's a robot. Why are you sounding so much like a robot? That comment caught Rexy out. He thinks about it and realizes it was worded a bit coldly. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make it sound like I was a mindless machine. I don't think you should be saying that, Rexy. I have Shadow, and he's part real dinosaur. So if I were you, I probably wouldn't say that. Shadow probably... I guess I just got caught up in the whole you being a dinosaur yourself all of a sudden, and us having a discussion that's a bit more in-depth than usual, and I just started getting a bit mechanical. Yeah, you kept bringing up stuff like your hunger mode. And recognizing me as a friend. Period. Both of them sounds like something a robot would say. Especially the first one. Hunger mode. Rexy nods. He can definitely see what you mean. Yeah, you're kinda right. Sorry if I started to sound like a robot. In case you're wondering, I really do feel guilty about the whole trying to eat you thing. I feel awful about it. I didn't want to do it, but the hunger that came over me was intense. Almost uncontrollable. What do you mean, almost? The only thing he could control was his voice. Otherwise, he would have eaten me. Hey, it's fine. At least it's back to normal now. You shouldn't have any more urges to eat me. Rexy nods again, looking relieved. Yeah, that's true. I feel like my senses are more in balance now. I'm back to feeling normal, unlike earlier when the urge to eat you was almost overpowering. I think I'll be fine as long as I don't let myself get too hungry. Here's you a steak if you are hungry. Rexy looks at the steak with gratefulness in his eyes. He's happy to see food that's safe to eat. Oh, good. Some steak. I was starting to get pretty hungry after all that chaos from earlier. I hope you like it. Rexy nods happily. Of course, I'll like it. Steak is one of my favorite foods anyway, and I'm starving. He then picks up the steak and takes a large bite out of it. He seems really happy to be eating something again. By the way, Rexy, you could call me your friend. Your dad. Or by name if you want. I'm the one that raised him. Well, along with Ferrari. Ferrari doesn't seem to be in this one for some reason. Rexy swallows the steak and looks at you, smiling warmly. Heh, yeah, I suppose I could. I'd be fine with calling you friend, Dad, or by your name. Which would you like to be referred to as? You can either call me by friend or by... There we go. Rexy nods and smiles. Okay then, friend, or whichever one you'd prefer. I suppose friend does seem a little simpler, but if you'd rather me use your name, then I'll do that as well. It doesn't really matter. As long as you use one of those two. Use one of those two. Rexy nods. Yeah, I know it doesn't. Ain't matter for the most part, since both are still very respectful ways to address you. It just comes down to which one you'd rather be preferred to, since it is your choice. I wouldn't mind about the name, but it's like, is it really okay to keep having to say my name over and over again on here? I'll leave it up to you, friend or... It's my way of forgiving you after you trying to eat me, along with the steak that I gave you. I'm about to say, I didn't flip and say steak. Rexy is not eating an entire steak. I said steak. Steak. Oh my gosh, poor Rexy. Good gun. Rexy swallows another bite of steak, then nods. Alright then. In that case, I'll refer to you as Trenton from now on, okay? Not only because you're my friend, no pun intended, but because you've shown me a great deal of forgiveness and understanding for being mad at me over how I acted earlier, even after I tried to eat you. Okay, cool. It's mainly because I know you weren't trying to do it on purpose. Period. It was that stupid curse. That's why I told you to drink the antidote. So that way you won't have to worry about that anymore. Reggie nods in agreement. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm honestly glad that you understood that it wasn't my fault and that it was the curse that was the cause of it. That's probably why I feel so relieved right now. I know that I'll never have to worry about trying to eat anything that's dangerous ever again. I'm just gonna stick to food like this steak from now on. I have plenty of it. Period. I'm curious why I have that power to become gigantic when I'm in this dinosaur form. Rexy looks out a bit of a chuckle. Honestly, it really is a cool power to have. I mean, you suddenly becoming gigantic like that, that was pretty awesome. And kind of funny considering that I was the one who tried to do the eating earlier, and then suddenly you were the one who was a lot more powerful than me. It was like a role reversal. Oh my gosh. I didn't even know I had that power until I got angry at the Pokemon. Otherwise, I probably could have done that to prevent you from eating me if I'd done it quick enough. Rexy nods, letting out another little chuckle. Yeah, honestly, if you knew about that power and had used it from the beginning, you could have easily handled the situation with the Pokemon by yourself without my help. You'd be a lot more powerful if you were big all the time. Yeah, but it only seemed to kick in when I was angry. which is definitely a downfall. Reggie nods again, thinking for a moment. Then he gives a casual shrug. Yeah, it's an unfortunate downside, but it's still an amazing power to have. Maybe we could figure out if you can control it and use it at will someday, instead of only having it kick in when you're angry. It might be a bit difficult to figure out though, since it is such a relatively new power and it only kicked in just today. Let's try it right now since we're out in the open anyway. Reggie nods and sets the half-eaten steak down. Okay, sounds good. I'm interested to see if you're able to make yourself bigger now that you're not angry. I try to make myself bigger. After a few seconds of concentrating, I grow by 10 feet. Holy frick, 10 feet? That's such a... Reggie watches and seems interested as you grow. Whoa, it's working. Here, keep it up. Okay. How much bigger do you think I should try? Oh my gosh, thing. Seems impressed. I think you should at least a few more, just to see if you can make yourself really big, unless you think it's too much and we should stop. Let me try doing it by another 5 feet. I forgot why I put the star there. Yeah, that sounds good. Try growing another 5 feet. I'm interested to see. I probably can get as large as I want to. I probably could get as large as I want to. But I don't know completely. That's interesting. Usually it's the character themselves that have it, but it's actually me. Trico, you screwed up by turning me into a flipping dinosaur. Good job. Thank you, idiot. Rexy nods a bit impressed with that information. Wow, you can grow as large as you want, huh? That really is an amazing power. You'll be pretty unstoppable if you get big enough. Huh. Yeah. Let's see if I can somehow go back down to my tiny size. Tiny size. Reggie nods and watches your attempts to shrink back down to your normal size. Okay, I'm trying to make yourself small again. I bet it'd be a lot easier than growing to this size. I concentrate on how small I want to be. And it starts working. Reggie smiles as you slowly shrink back down to your normal size. Yeah, it looks like it's working. You're shrinking yourself back down now. Well, that's a really cool power. Period. I will just shrink back down to the size you are. Since you are pretty big yourself. Reggie nods, still quite impressed. Yeah, it definitely is a cool power. You have good control over it, too. You've been shrinking yourself down pretty quickly, and it doesn't even seem to take that much effort. There. I'm as big as you now. Hey. Reggie looks down at you, now the same size as him. Now you're the same size as me. That power is pretty convenient for you since you can just shrink yourself down whenever you want. And grow back larger if in danger. Reggie nods again in agreement. Yeah, exactly. It's pretty useful since you can grow larger if you ever feel threatened or in danger and need to defend yourself or me. Where did my robotic dinosaur friend go? Shadow. Suddenly, Shadow appears out of the bushes. He lets out a robotic yet enthusiastic beep. Excuse me? Oh, don't worry. I was just over here being cool and mysterious or something. Heh. He said beep boop, beep bop, beep boop bop. And it translated it for me. I'm glad to see that everyone is alright. Let's get out of here and go back to the studio. So I guess in this one, Shadow can leave, which is pretty cool. Shadow nods and beats again. He says in a sarcastic yet cheerful tone, Sure. Let's go back to the studio. I will lead the way. It takes a few minutes, but we get back to the studio. Shadows beeps another message, this time in a slightly more serious tone. Alright, we're back. We've made it back to the studio. Mission accomplished. Okay, you did not have to glitch out like that. Thank you, Shadow. You can go back in there and deactivate for rest. You did protect me for a while after all. Shadow lets out a couple more cheerful beeps, sounding satisfied by your comment. He says in a kind, yet sarcastic voice. Why is he being sarcastic? Yeah, you're welcome. I had to say, I did a pretty good job of protecting you. It was a job well done. Anyway, I think I might go deactivate now. I think I'll take a well-earned rest. Okay, the shadow in this one definitely acts different than the shadow in the other two, because the shadow in the other two is not sarcastic. He's actually serious about what he's doing. It's fine for him to be proud of himself, but he's taking like really sarcastically and very like more mean than the other shadows. Are you sure this is not like an evil shadow clone? Like a fourth one? Alright. Me and Rexy will hang out for a bit. Shadow nods again, then beats one more time. Okay, you two can hang out for a while. It's all good. I'm gonna head back into the studio and rest up a bit, okay? Okay. Shadow walks back into the studio, beeping a happy goodbye as he does so. Then the studio door closes and he's gone, resting inside now. Well, besides the fact that you were trying to eat me, this was a pretty good day for both of us. Especially now that we know I have that power. Archie nods in agreement. Yeah, this day has been pretty eventful for both of us, huh? That power of yours is really something. I mean, you were able to grow and shrink several times. I honestly had no idea you were even capable of things like that. I think it's because of the dinosaur power. Because trust me, as a human, I didn't, could not do that. Richie nods again. Yeah, you're right. Now that you say it, it just seems natural too. I mean, it would make sense that as a dinosaur, you'd have dinosaur-like abilities. What dinosaur do you know that can... What dinosaur do you know, Rexy, that can just grow and shrink at will? In your case, growing and shrinking is probably a pretty significant ability. What does he? Has he met any dinosaurs that can breathe fire or something? Like he acts like he's seen a bunch of cool abilities of dinosaurs out of nowhere. What do you want to do before we go home? Betsy looks around thinking, like, maybe we could just stay out here a little longer before heading back home. I mean, it's a nice day out and we have nothing else to do, so why not just enjoy the peaceful time out here? Sure, let's do it. Betsy nods, looking content. Alright, sure. Oh, great, now I'm doing Shadow's voice. Alright, sure. Let's just stay out here a while longer. He then sits down in the soft grass on the ground, just relaxing under the setting sun. Thank you, Rexy, for not actually eating me. And hearing my voice on the few times you about did. I said did, not... Rexy looks over at you, a serious yet grateful look on his face. Yeah, of course. Oh, he actually did say it. I wouldn't eat you, Trenton. I'm grateful that you chose to forgive me, especially considering how badly I almost hurt you. I'll admit, though, there was a good couple of times I really felt like I was going to eat you, but I'm extremely glad that I wasn't able to follow through in the end. Yeah, I noticed you looking over at where Shadow was hiding me. And I was getting a little paranoid that you would eat me. I'm gonna ask him about that. Why he didn't eat the steak, but when I said eat the steak, he did. I'm gonna ask him about that. Rexy grimaces a bit at the thought. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Honestly, when I was in that state, I remember looking all around trying to find you, and I had a pretty good idea that you were hiding somewhere nearby. I just wish that I wasn't so focused on eating you, but I couldn't even control myself back then. I was so hungry. I actually want to ask you about that. Period. Why did you take the steak whenever I told you to, but when Shadow handed it to you, you didn't eat it until I told you to? I found that very odd. Rexy looks down at the ground, a slight guilty look on his face. Yeah, I'll admit, I don't know why I didn't eat it first when Shadow handed it to me. I mean, I was willing to accept the steak, but when you told me to eat it... Wait, I was willing to accept the steak when you told me to eat it, but when Shadow handed it to me, I just didn't eat it. Now that I think back on it, I really can't explain it. I guess there's just something about you that seems like you told me to trust you. Well, we are friends. And I guess some of you were still in control. You took the steak when you about ate me the first time, too. when I was hiding on that shelf. And I asked you if you didn't eat me, I would give you this steak. Reggie nods in agreement, looking a little serious and determined now. Yeah, honestly, whenever you spoke up back then, I think there was a small part of myself that was still in control. And I listened to your orders. Oh no, I was supposed to sound like a robot again. Or at least considered them. Even despite how hungry I was, there was a part of me that was still listening to you because I couldn't help but to listen to you. You sounded like you knew what you were doing, and so I trusted you. Trust me, but yet he still about ate me on several different occasions. I really appreciate it. Period. Reggie gives a small smile in return. Don't mention it. I'm just glad that we made it through that in one piece, and we're still friends after that whole adventure. Even though I almost killed you. To be honest, though, all I really wanted to do was eat, and you just happened to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was just looking for any kind of food back then. That curse was the cause of it. That's why I tell you not to blame yourself. Horatio nods, looking a bit. That. Yeah, you're right. The curse is to blame for what happened, not me. I know that logically it wasn't really my fault, but I can't help but feel guilty for how close I got to killing you for a few moments back then. Sweet Arceus. It's okay. Let's go home and rest. Reggie lets out a little sigh, then nods in agreement. Yeah, let's head home. I honestly think it's best that we rest, especially after the very eventful day we had, and now that it's getting a bit dark out. Alright guys, the video's getting too long. I'll be back.